77% of you are unsubscribed. Please hit the subscribe link below. So this message is from the Holy Spirit I got last night. Basically saying, if Jesus returned right now, would you recognize him? Would you recognize his voice? Would you hear his voice? And I think, unfortunately, right now, a lot of Christians wouldn't hear his voice. I think a lot of us would be just like the Pharisees and Sadducees of the time, where we say, well, this is how you came last time, so this is how we expect you to come now. There's a lot moving in the spirit world right now. There's a lot of events popping up. There's everything from earthquakes to spy balloons / UFOs to, Super Bowl, he gets us, to revivals happening not just in Asbury, but in Lee and in Tennessee and other places in the world where the gospel's getting preached and people are getting saved. But the response that comes is, we doubt it, and is it really happening? And I saw a video last night on one of the pastors from a Baptist church, and the Holy Spirit led me to that video just out of nowhere, and he was basically saying the Asbury revival can't be real because they're a non-denominational college. They're not King James only. Some of the songs that were being sung during the service happened to be Hillsong songs. Well, how many churches have you went to that are singing Hillsong songs, but yet they're powerful churches and people are getting saved and their gospel at the churches is sound, but that's some of the songs that are catchy and people know. They were also singing other songs there that weren't. People are claiming, hey, they're not preaching the gospel there. Well, you're not seeing, maybe you didn't see it on some of the clips that they have, but you don't know unless you go there whether what's happening is true. I mean, we're told to test every spirit. So, yes, test the spirit. So far, I've been looking around on YouTube for stuff related to the revival and big Christian YouTubers, whether they went there or not. And I only found 2 out of all of the major Christian YouTubers. Actually, no, 2. 4 of the Christian 4 have been there that I've found. And 2 of the 4 have said they've went there and it felt like going to a regular church service. All right. One of them, he listed all of his legitimate concerns. Now, he listed his legitimate concerns referencing that he had also watched the other YouTuber's video. So he already had her points in mind when he wrote his review. So it wasn't a non-biased review from that standpoint. But I mean, at least the 4 of them went there. They wanted to know that they could trust the Spirit. They went there. The other people I hear critiquing it are saying, we watched a clip online, right? And the interesting thing about that is the same people that are saying we watched a clip online are the same people that are saying, How can you have a church service online? You have to be there in person. You have to experience da-da-da-da-da. And so, I mean, you have those criticisms as well, right? I mean, churches that run services online, they're also preaching the gospel. They're also sharing things. They're also, the Spirit is also moving through that medium. But, again, we're looking at things from the standpoint of, what happened the last time in the Bible when there was a revival. And it's like, okay, well, that was, almost 2,000 years ago. There was no internet. We didn't have more modern songs. We didn't have more modern translations. In fact, they didn't even have King James back then. So you saying King James only now, it's like, well, what about the, why, you're not Greek and Hebrew and Aramaic tablet only. So, hey, if you're not getting it from the original Greek, Aramaic, and, then, hey, how can it be a revival if you don't, right? That's really what I'm hearing people saying. And it's like, the revival doesn't always come the same way. We need to test the spirits, but we need to go and test the spirits. If you're doubting, pray about it. Maybe go to one of these locations and experience it. And then you can say, this is what I think. But right now, as Christians, as soon as something pops up that's doing something, we have this jealousy. Oh, this is being successful, so we're going to find something to nitpick to tear it down. Right? I mean, the same thing's happening with The Chosen, right? It is preaching about Jesus. People are hearing the gospel. People are going to churches, right? Yes, there's a Mormon involved. Yes, there's a Catholic actor involved. Yes, Jesus had a tax collector and a Zionist within his group of apostles. Right? The key thing is that, are they preaching a different gospel? Are the people being saved on something other than saved by grace and faith alone and not by works? And as long as the gospel is being preached properly, then God uses mediums outside of Christians to do his work for him. Just look in the Old Testament and you can find lots of times where mediums outside of the chosen people were used. When Elijah and famine was going on, and all of that stuff was happening, Elijah went to a Gentile person. And that Gentile person is the one who received the miraculous sign. Okay? So just think about that just because it doesn't happen, just because things don't happen in your particular denomination or your particular flavor of whatever, don't be jealous. We're not here to be jealous. We're here to make sure that the gospel is getting spread, that people are hearing it, and that people are being saved. And with the times the way they are right now, we can see the writing on the wall that the end is nigh. I mean, the end's been nigh since Jesus' time. Jesus has said, coming back soon since then. But, we're seeing more and more and more signs. So we know that we're getting closer and closer and closer. The important thing is spreading the gospel and saving souls. So get over the jealousy, get over the, they're using a different Bible than me. They're singing songs that aren't our denominational type songs. Or, if the gospel's getting preached and people are getting saved, then that is a blessing from the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the only one who can truly save souls. And so, regardless of anything else is happening around, if the Holy Spirit is saving souls, then that group of people that the Holy Spirit is working through is the important thing. That's all I got.